Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Alan Quinn. I am the head of brand content and marketing for Cars.co.za, and welcome to our podcast. I am delighted today to have the CEO of Vehicle and Asset Finance for Absa Bank here, Charl Potgieter. Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Alan. Glad to be here.
Great. Now, you are not only our sponsor, but you're going to be on the stage and giving a keynote at our upcoming DealerCon conference, 17th of September, Santon Convention Centre. Don't forget. But why do you feel that this event right now is important for the motor industry?
Alan, I always get excited when the industry get together. And I get especially excited because the automotive industry is one of the very few industries where I have seen where people can compete fiercely in the market. But when they get together, they solve problems and look for opportunities for the industry selflessly. And that really excites me about DealerCon and the opportunity that it brings for OEMs, motor dealers, financial institutions, thought leaders, and industry role players to get together and to just think about our industry and collectively work to make our industry a better one for everybody.
Because our industry has been through turbulent times over this past 5 years. So what you're saying is that the things that unite us in terms of growth and the need for growth probably are more important than the things that divide us.
Absolutely. And as I said before, it's an industry where people uniquely can work together to solve for the industry and for the South African economy, yet compete fiercely in the market. And ultimately what we are looking for is growth. Growth so that we can contribute to our economy.
Now, in terms of Absa VAF, you guys have grown a lot over this past decade.
Yeah, we have.
How? What have you done right? What do you think you've done right?
When we started, we recognized the importance of the dealer. We created a bank of the dealer strategy that really amplifies how we make it easier for the dealer to do business with us. And then later, we realized that we can play a larger, more enabling role in the industry. And we elevated our strategy to the bank of the automotive industry, always having the dealer as a key component, but expanding a little bit towards OEMs, other market players like platforms like Cars.co.za, and collaborating with industry bodies like NAMSA and NADA. And I think that has helped us with our relevance. And then obviously, you have to have the right products and propositions and risk appetite, which I think is sort of like a little bit of a magic mix that then gives you the opportunity to grow in an industry like ours.
I'm sure in your position, the company put you through a medical once a year and that kind of stuff. Now, if you were giving the industry a medical, what would you be saying as the doctor to it?
You can't step away from the macro environment and the economic cycles that we find ourselves in. And, unfortunately for our industry, we went from COVID to a high interest rate period, which created a little bit of a cost of living challenge for consumers and an affordability issue. But it's looking better. The cycle is definitely turning. We've seen the interest rates reduce. Actually had a number of interest rate cuts. Inflation is well within range. Currency is relatively strong. New sales volumes have really increased to pre-COVID volumes. So overall, I think the health of the industry is actually looking pretty good. And then to add to that, we also have a whole list of new role players and new vehicles and offerings in the market that consumers are finding very exciting, because there definitely is a lot of choice for consumers at the moment. The one thing I've learned about the automotive industry is it's incredibly resilient. And it finds its resilience in the quality of people that we have in our industry.
Every time you open Instagram these days, especially the last weekend with Festival of Motoring and so on going on, there's another brand in the industry. So it's a phenomenon that's been going on a few years now, but what's your overall view of that? Is it positive, net positive for the industry, or how is it?
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on other brands and other peers. We our perspective is there's a place for everybody. We respect everybody, but we back ourselves to compete as I think every single role player in our industry does. And what competition brings, it just benefits the consumer.
Does benefit.
And ultimately that's what we're looking for is to add value to consumers. And I think if consumers are positive towards the industry, and in South Africa we're very lucky because South Africans love cars. In other parts of the world, people don't buy cars anymore, especially young people.
That is true. People aspire still. I guess that aspiration, do they aspire to some of these new brands yet? Or do we still aspire towards those old traditional brands, the BMWs and the Mercedes? These brands getting the credibility and the kind of markets that they need to keep growing?
I think consumers in South Africa aspire to own many brands of vehicles.
That's true.
But they consider what they need at a point in time and then what they can afford at a point in time. And I think what the new brands have brought to South Africa is affordable luxury. If you really look at the value that consumers are getting out of some of these vehicles, it has really put the consumer at the middle of a number of derivatives that they can choose from. But do consumers aspire to drive other luxury brands or other sporting brands or other lifestyle brands? Yes, they do. It's just at a point in time, they select something that serves their immediate needs that they can afford.
It's affordable luxury and also the technology they bring.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's just very exciting. My son bought a car recently and I think the thing he showed me most was the size of the screen in front of him. The amount of technology that a car of 200 grand gave him was quite amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the voice activation and everything is electronic. It really does bring really good offers to consumers in South Africa.
You sit down with a lot of dealers every day, right? Your tenure in the job means that you've seen some come, some go. Which dealers stand out for you at the minute? What kind of qualities do the best dealers and you think are going to be most successful in the future have versus those that don't?
Motor dealers to start with are normally property owners. When I define property, I mean the physical dealership, but also the digital property that dealers own, where they advertise their vehicles, etc. I think that's a key component to managing your dealership successfully. Secondly, in my experience, successful dealers know what to buy. It's a little bit more about what you buy than what you sell. I mean, you'll sell it eventually. It always comes down to, your people, your processes, your systems, how you manage risk, how you think about customer service. I don't think the fundamentals of business in a dealership are very different from the fundamentals of any other business. But I'm probably not the best person to provide an opinion on. I'm sure you're going to interview a couple of dealers that will give you a much better qualified answer than mine.
Digitization has been a thing, but it's been a thing for a long time. What are you think the latest trends that are affecting how you work with dealers, how you work with customers, and even how dealers work with customers?
I think digitization is something that is evolving. So we started quite a while ago with our automation and digitization journey. And we started at the front, so we built a new acquisition fulfillment system, a workflow system that integrates with the front line, which really makes it easy for dealers to apply on behalf of customers for finance and then to fulfill the transaction on one channel. We have also worked on our own online presence so that customers and dealers can apply on our platforms. And then lastly, what we have done is we have created self-service capabilities for both customers and dealers, which we are expanding at the moment. And then, I suppose like everybody else, we are putting a little bit of AI in there and seeing what robotics can do for us. So it's an exciting space. But at the end of the day, there's still a real need for the human element. And, the one thing I know about South Africans, they still want to go to a dealer floor and collect that vehicle and celebrate the event of driving with your new car off a dealer floor. And I think South Africans just appreciate and love that feeling. While digitization and automation plays a critical role, I think the human touch is still absolutely relevant.
So the digitization is more focused on just making the admin side easier and focusing, because we do love our bricks and mortar, we love our shopping malls, we love our palatial dealerships, don't we?
Absolutely. And look, I suppose digitization and automation is there to make it easy, fast, consistent, and transparent. But important moments, South Africans still want to engage. And I think taking delivery of a vehicle, or even sometimes just going and experiencing the different cars that's out there, is still a really good pastime for South Africans.
There's been a lot of conversations over the last couple of years about electrification and EVs and so on. Now, it seems to be a lot of hype and very little sales. What's your take on that?
It depends on how you define electrification, but most certainly in terms of hybrid vehicles, we can see very good momentum in South Africa. With full EVs, the take-up has been much slower, but we can see in the world trends, hybrids leads and then EVs follow. And I do think as the price ranges of electric vehicles drop, as consumers start becoming more comfortable with things like range and convenience of charging, and as the battery technology improves, we will see an acceleration of adoption as we have seen in the rest of the world. So we may be not where the rest of the world are yet, but I'm sure we'll get there over time.
Do you think that will drive finance products or any change? Because finance as a product has sort of stayed the same for a long time.
I think it has. And I don't know if EVs necessarily will drive the need for a change in finance products. I think the consumer will drive the change for new mobility products in our environment. Consumer retail rentals are starting to emerge. Consumers are thinking differently about ownership. Subscription models are starting to develop in the rest of the world. There's quite a lot of development in the product space. I haven't seen anything really at scale yet. Our product team at Absa are thinking really hard about what are the actual needs of consumers and how do we solve for those needs, and then build products and propositions for them that will ultimately help dealers sell more cars.
Back to DealerCon to conclude. What do you hope that dealers, OEMs, and the broader industry will take away from that day?
I hope that we can get together and have a meaningful discussion in a collaborative sense around the challenges and the opportunities that the industry is facing and how we solve that collectively. I think if we can achieve that and walk out with a short list of things that we need to do and sort of an idea how to do it, then I think we've achieved the objective.
Because it is as you said, there's green shoots. There's an opportunity to grow and hopefully add a bit of momentum into that kind of growth in the future.
Absolutely. If the industry grows, we all benefit.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
Very true. Thank you very much, Charl. Thank you for your time coming through yours, and we look forward to seeing you on the 17th of September.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
The Cars.co.za DealerCon is taking place on the 17th of September 2025 at the Sandton International Convention Center. Facilitated by Fifi Peters and Aki Anastasio, an inspirational keynote addressed by Vusi Tembekweo, and you will learn from top CEOs and industry leaders.
Processes within the traditional dealership that took long are now becoming a much shorter period.
Dealers need to be adaptable and well-informed and well-educated on not just what the consumer knows, but be seen to be an expert in their spaces.
Knowledge truly is power, and you'll be able to apply that and maybe sell that extra car.
Future-proof your dealership with data-backed insights from the Cars.co.za industry report powered by TransUnion. South Africa's most influential dealers, OEMs, FNIs, and banks will gather to share ideas, solve challenges, and build the future of automotive retail together. In just one day, you'll meet industry leaders who are shaping tomorrow and explore the strategies that will keep your dealership competitive. DealerCon is your competitive edge. Secure your tickets now at dealercon.cars.co.za.